Have you ever read something so short that it just sticks with you and you can't stop thinking about it? Well, that's what we're diving into today. We're going to deconstruct a brilliant little 2-minute horror story to figure out the secret sauce. How do you build that kind of heart-pounding terror with just a few sentences? Let's find out.
Chilling, right? That one line is the punchline. It's the culmination of a perfectly crafted sequence of events. But how does a story get to a point where a simple text message can be so absolutely terrifying? That's what we're here to break down step by step.
Okay, so first things first. Every great scare needs the right atmosphere. The author is smart here. They don't just throw us into the chaos. No, first they build this perfect foundation of vulnerability. Now, let's look at how these 3 simple facts work together. It's not random. The last train? That screams no escape, no help is coming. The time, 1:13 a.m.? Come on, you know nothing good happens after midnight. And the most important part, our main character, Aarav, is positive the coach is empty. He's established his reality, and that reality is about to get completely shattered.
And there it is, the first crack in the foundation. A woman just appears, where there was no one before. It's not a jump scare, it's quiet, it's subtle, but it's an anomaly. It's that moment the world feels just a little bit off, and that's where the real horror begins. But this story isn't just your classic ghost on a train. Oh no. The author kicks the tension up a notch by weaving in a totally modern layer of fear, the digital threat.
This is the key question, right? This is what makes the story feel so current. The fear is no longer just about who's in the train car with Aarav. Suddenly, it's about what's in his pocket, what's lighting up his screen. And bam, the first text from an unknown number. This changes everything. Aarav is no longer just a passive observer of some weird lady. Now the threat is active, it's personal, and it knows exactly what he's doing.
And the second message comes almost instantly after he looks. This is just brilliant because it creates this feeling of being watched in real time. The texter isn't guessing, they see him. The paranoia just skyrockets, not just for Aarav, but for us reading along too.
So, you see what's happening? He's trapped. It's this dual threat situation. He's got the woman he can see, who is slowly, inexplicably getting closer. And then he's got this person he can't see, who is in his phone. There's literally no safe place to look.
Now we get to the story's big turning point. The author takes a classic horror trope, you know, the spooky reflection, and uses it to completely pull the rug out from under us.
This is it, the moment of confrontation. He has to know what's going on behind him. But instead of turning his head, he uses his phone's dark screen. He's expecting to see the woman, right? We are all expecting to see the woman standing right over his shoulder.
And here's the misdirection. It's beautiful. He expects to see the monster, but the reality in the reflection is nothing. No one is there. The threat just vanishes. And for a second, you feel this massive, confusing sense of relief. The danger we thought was there isn't. Or is it?
That brief moment of false relief is the final piece of the trap. The author lets us all take a breath for just a second before delivering the real horrifying payoff.
For just a split second, Aarav thinks he's safe. He probably lets out a sigh. The physical threat is gone, so the texts must have been a weird prank. It's over. And we, the audience, we feel that little bit of calm right along with him. The tension just drops away.
And then that line, whispered right into his ear, shatters everything. The texter wasn't the woman. It was never about the woman. The real threat was the one he couldn't see, the one who was intimate, invisible, and right there with him the entire time.
And that is the core idea that makes this story so skin-crawlingly effective. It's not about some monster chasing you down a hallway. It's about the violation of your personal space by something you were completely oblivious to. It's the terror of the unseen presence.
So, how did this story do so much so fast? When you break it down, there's actually a brilliant little blueprint the author used to build this perfect scare. Let's recap.
You see, first, you make your character alone and vulnerable. Then, you introduce something that just doesn't belong. Step 3, you amplify the fear from 2 different angles, the seen and the unseen. Then, the clever part, you pull the rug out with a misdirection to make them think they're safe. And finally, you deliver the real scare, making it personal and totally inescapable. It's an incredibly powerful formula.
And that's really the big takeaway here. Now that you can see the architecture of the scare, the nuts and bolts of it, does it make it less scary?
Or does it make you appreciate the craft even more? The next time you watch a horror movie or read a scary story, try to spot these steps. You might just find that the real thrill isn't just in being scared, but in understanding how you got there.